Hello, everybody, and welcome to Stampin' Among the Gum Trees. It is Friday, the 19th of September 2025, if you're watching this on replay. And this is a live video from my Stampin' Among the Gum Trees studio and craft room. I'd like to share a fun fold with you this afternoon, and it's so simple and so easy. And that's going to thin balmy. It's not going to be big enough. What will we use? Da-da-da-da. Here we go. Is it going to be big enough to cover that glary spot? It is. Perfect. Okay. A fun fold. I've just called it a flip fold. It's really simple. It's really, really quick. And if I can do it, you can. I have decided to use the perfectly pairs or painterly pairs. Let me check what that is called. Goodness, I have trouble. I wish that everything had the same name all the time. It would be so much easier. It is the, just so, Painterly Pairs Suite. It's gorgeous paper, absolutely beautiful paper. And the stamp set and coordinating die set are amazing. And there's some beautiful little gems and some gorgeous ribbon that I am yet to use, because it's one of those things that's just too pretty for me to want to cut into. So it's an online exclusive. You won't find this suite in your annual catalogue. You will only find it online in my store. The link to my store is below. I'll just quickly run through the paper. This paper is amazing. It's pretty, and that's the flip side, and it's pretty too. But this paper, this is the paper that you use for die cutting, because the dies, the coordinating dies, will cut out the big pair, the little pair of pairs, and there's a die for that little leaf twig too. It's amazing. Here's some. So there's the big pair, there's the little pairs, and there's twigs. No fussy cutting. No fussy cutting required. I'm going to use some of these elements in our card this afternoon. But how easy is that? You get 2 sheets of this paper in the suite. So there's that one. Then there's this one. This one's really pretty. I've got it around the wrong way for you. Put it up so you can see it properly. Isn't it just gorgeous? So pretty. And with that petal pink background, it's so unusual. And the flip side is the reverse. This is the DSP I am going to use this afternoon to make the flip fold card. 2 sheets of that. Then we get 2 sheets of this, and you might, if you're a card maker, think, yeah. But if you're a card maker, it's perfect, because you cut it at 4 inches and 4 inches, and then you cut it at 5.5 and 5.5, and you've got 6 card fronts done. If you're a scrapbooker, you can cut the corners and use just the corners as features on your layout. You could use that as your page and put your photo mats in the middle. Lots to do with this one. And the flip is pretty too. Really pretty too. Okay. This one, this is the one I used on the sample card that I've lost. Had it. What did I do with it? Here. This one. This one is what I used to make this card. So pretty. So pretty. Absolutely love it. Okay, and the flip side that you don't see a lot of, because I used it for the mat, is that. Now that's Darling Duckling. That's one of the new in colours. It's not yellow, it's not green. I've forgotten what my mother would call it. But it's not too bad as colours go. It tones in. And this, of course, you'll know I'm a huge fan of William Morris prints and designs. This very reminiscent to me of those, although there are no animals in it. But very, very reminiscent to me with the dark colours, which the dark is my new favourite Secret Sea. And we have this one, which is really simple. Again, it's really pretty. It's almost like a wallpaper. So pretty, with the main colour being the Darling Duckling. Little hints of Secret Sea, light Secret Sea, a dark Secret Sea, some old olive, and of course the petal pink. And that's the flip side. If you don't look too closely, if you're in Australia and you don't look too closely, that's almost like wattle blossom to me. From a distance, close up it's not, obviously. You can tell that they're little flower heads, although they could be wattle blossoms. So there you go. That's the DSP in the pack. The colours, as usual, Stampin' Up does a brilliant job and always lists on the back of the packet the colours that are used in it. And we've got basic black, of course, Darling Duckling, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Petal Pink, and Secret Sea. All right, and let me pop those back in the cover so I don't damage them. It's, you know me, I'll either lose them or damage them. Pop them back in there. There we go. And let's get to making this card because we are already 9 minutes in. Or 7.5 by the, I must have been late starting, was I? 7.5 by the timer. And I want to show you just how quick and easy this card is. Now I've already cut the pieces needed for this. So we have a card base that is 21 centimeters by 14.5, scored at 10.5. And as always, we put the lumpy side of the score line, that bump. I don't know if you can see it. That sort of bump. There, am I under the camera? No, I'm not. Oh. Anyway, that bump in there, you can see there's a splotch on that card. I'm not going to waste the cardstock. Remember, if you want your cards to sit flat, use most of your foam folder to score, not just the end. Oh, look, you want to lose a dimensional because there it is. All right. So let's make that the inside. This will be the outside. The first thing we are going to do is put our DSP on the front. Now, little secret, lots and lots of adhesive all over this, because you want it to stick all over the card front. Now, if I can get it to work, it wasn't working before, it was being iffy. We've got the blob in the middle. There you go. Lots and lots of glue. Cover the whole thing. Not big blobs, but make sure, let me make sure, because this is really mucked up today. Really. It's coming out. There we go. Lots. We want it to stick really well to the card front. I'm going to fold that again just so I can square it up. Make sure this is a one-way pattern, so make sure it's up the right way on your card front. Push that down. Here's my face. Okay, now comes the fun part, the cutting. And it is actually quite simple. Quite simple. And then we're nearly finished. So you will need your paper trimmer. You are going to use the inches marking on your paper trimmer. Just for this, we are going to open our card, and with the cover on the left, we're going to line it up at 3 inches. Pop that down, and I need to turn it around so I can see. Can you all see? Make sure it's at 3 inches. Move your blade up. Pop it in there. And I am going to have to move it a bit closer to me so I can see. And we're going to go up to the 3/4 of an inch mark. And then back down to the 3-inch mark. And run it up a couple of times to make sure you've got it. You can feel when you've got to where it's finished cutting. Ta-da! Done. Now, we're going to turn it around and we're going to cut it this way. We're going to line it up at 3 inches. And I'm going to move the blade up, pop it down, and flip it around so I can see. And then we're going to go up to 3/4 of an inch and down to 3 inches. And those little, on your blade, you can't see them, but there are little marks on the blade that correspond with the mark on the ruler so that you know where you've gone. That's it. Now, has it gone through? It didn't go through, so we'll line it up at 3 inches again. And we will, because we're going through 2 layers, and you can see it moving smoothly now. Okay, there we go. That's it. Easy peasy. Now, the only other thing we need to do to this, and this is really just a help thing, is take a stylus or your bone folder and a ruler, and you're going to line up the corners of the cuts, just like so. And you're going to just score from the top of the corner to the end of the card, just like that. Don't score the whole thing because you don't want it to show and it will be on display. Just score that little bit there, and now open it up and just gently, and this is why you want your paper to be well stuck down. We're going to gently make sure that everything is lined up like that. So you've got even, and we'll burnish. We're going to flip it, and just along the very top here, and I might need to wipe some of that off. We're going to just fold it over carefully and pop it down, and that just keeps it in place. That's the hard part done. Okay, Now we get to the fun part, the decorating. So I've only cut one mat for the inside. Let's do that, and that will hide that splotch that I'm got on it. And I don't even know how I did it, but I've got one down here too. So who knows with me? Pop this in. I'm using white. You could use Berry Vanilla if you wanted to. You could use Petal Pink if you wanted to. I don't mind the contrast. Hang on a minute. There we go. There's a little nubbin of paper fibre there. There we go. That's done. Now we've got the DSP. I'm going to use the reverse side to mat up this. And like so. Line it up so that your borders are reasonably even. And that's it. Now, stamping. The stamp set is lovely. The stamp set is lovely. You will see with this one, I use that stamp, that outline stamp. I don't colour. Remember, I don't colour. I use that outline stamp. I could have, if I wanted colour, used that stamp and then stamped that on the top of it. I didn't want to, and I didn't want to colour because I don't colour. And I actually quite like that the way it is. Same deal with the big pair. You've got an outline, you've got the colour, little flowers, some sprigs and things. That means, where did I get that from? I got it there. I'll put these away because we are not going to use them for this. We're going to do some die cutting, or I've done some die cutting. Excuse me. Couldn't hit the mute button. But we will. I've just got the sentiment is a good friend is a gift. There I go again. And that's just stamped in. Whoops. I've stamped it in Memento Black to keep it simple. There's my phone. There's my phone. Stamping photopolymer, and there is no give in photopolymer. So if you want a really nice finish to your stamp, put something under it so you put a give. Right there like that. There we go. A good friend is a gift. Perfect. Happy as Larry with that one, I am. Let me clean up my stamp. Use a quick baby wipe. Because I've got my standard scrub packed away. Rightio. Now to decorate. And pop that on there. Again, got the zonga. Just center it. What did I do with those diamonds? Okay. So you don't mind those like that and just hanging off a bit. And do I want to pop them up? Do I want to pop them up? Thinking. Oh, I think I'm going to leave it this way. Oh, a little blue on the back. Try and just get little dots out to the edges on those skin bits because they tend to catch. Yeah. like that, didn't I? Coming off the edge. There we go. We've got some. These are called low profile sparkle dots. Secret Sea, Old Olive, Darling Duckling, I guess, for the colours that we've matched them. And those. I'm thinking I'm going to use, I used the Darling Duckling in this one. Might use the green again. Up for one there. And there. Oh. One there. Okay. These so bold, and actually let's drop another one there. I don't mind that. Okay, I don't have a sentiment to put on the inside yet because I don't know what I want to put on the inside. I don't know. But I do have this and I do have this. And I'm going to stick that there. That. And I might trim just a little bit of the offset of food, just because it looks a bit bold, although it would have blended in on the white anyway. I feel a bit happier. I don't want to underneath. Yes, I think I do. Right. Fold there. Fold there. Stick it down. And a tiny bit of finger, and I will run it under there. Push it down. Okay. How easy, my lovelies, was that? That's it done. Admittedly, I had everything cut, but really it was just a card base and a couple of pieces of DSP in 23 minutes. Super fast, super easy. So there you go. That's my fun fold for today. I'll put the measurements over on my blog and the supply list, but this Painterly Pears, is that what we called it? Yes, is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Really simple and an easy fun fold. That I got a glue eraser somewhere. Yes, I have. Gently, there we go. Done. How easy were they? I think it's lovely. I really like it. I'm so excited that there's a fun fold that only takes a few minutes to do that looks spectacular. Alrighty, I will see you on Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. live here at Stamp Among Your Gum Trees. Have a great weekend. And if you're in Melbourne or anywhere on the East Coast, I believe it's going to have wild weather this weekend. Stay safe. And I will see you then. Bye for now.